Hey everybody, John Houlihan here. Welcome to the channel and hope you're having a great day. This video is the sixth in the Great Guitar Tone series of videos. If you like the video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. The idea of this series, I don't know if you've watched any of the other ones, is to take signature guitar riffs from really well-known songs and see if we can reproduce the guitar tone that they got in those signature riffs. So, and we won't be using exactly the same equipment that they used during the recording because we're trying to keep costs down. Not all musicians have the exact same equipment that they used in these recordings, so we're going to try to use sort of commonly available guitars, amps, and effects to try to reproduce the same tone. So it may not be exactly the same, but we'll try to get as close as we can. This isn't a guitar lesson video. It's more of how to match tone. Although, of course, when I play the song, I'm going to try to play the riff as close as I can. And as I say, one of the main goals of the channel is to keep costs down for musicians. So I'm going to use pretty simple stuff. No boutique guitar amps. I'm not going to use $800 effect pedals or anything like that. Okay, so for this episode, we're looking at the song Get Back by the Beatles. Now, producer-director Peter Jackson, he's the guy that directed Lord of the Rings, has released an excellent documentary of the same name, Get Back, that many of you guys have already seen. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but it really looks excellent. So I thought, why not do an episode on Great Guitar Tone, how to match the tone they got on the song Get Back by the Beatles. So Get Back was recorded at EMI Studios, now Abbey Road Studios, in January of 1969 and was released on the Let It Be album. It was written by Paul McCartney. Of course, the writing credits all say Lennon McCartney, but it was actually written by Paul McCartney and produced by George Martin. As far as the original equipment they used, I think the primary guitar you're hearing on it is an Epiphone Casino. You do see George Harrison playing a mahogany Telecaster, but I think the majority of the signature riffs are coming from an Epiphone Casino, which is a fully hollow body electric with dog ear P90 single coil pickups. Dog ear refers to the way they're mounted on the guitar, and they also used various Fender combo tube amps. Probably Fender Twins, super reverbs, things of that nature. So my equipment, of course, I don't have an Epiphone Casino, and I'm not going to run out and buy one, although they're nice guitars. I'm going to use an Epiphone ES335, which is a semi-hollow body, and it has Alnico dual coil pickups. It doesn't have the P90s in it. I'm going to use a Fender Blues Junior, that's what I always use, with a reissued Jensen P12Q speaker. And the only effects I'm using are a Boss CS2 compressor and a Boss BD2 blues driver. Microphone I'm going to use is just a Shure SM57 dynamic mic. Okay, so let's have a look at the guitar that we're going to use to record this. Of course, in the original recording, John Lennon used an Epiphone Casino, which is a full hollow body guitar with P90 single coil pickups. Now this is an Epiphone ES335, which is what's called a semi-hollow body. Now the difference between a hollow body and a semi-hollow body is the semi-hollow body has a solid block of wood running down the middle. Now Gibson introduced this for two reasons. One was to try to reduce the amount of feedback, because the full hollow body is more susceptible to feedback. And the other thing is, the Gibson Tune-o-matic bridge and the tailpiece can be bolted directly into this block of wood running down the center line of the guitar. If you don't have that, then you have to use sort of a trapeze style tailpiece, which is a little more delicate, a little more flimsy. So reduces feedback, and I think structurally the guitar is a little more sturdy. Now these P90 single coil pickups, you're thinking single coil, everybody thinks about Fender Stratocasters and Telecasters because they're also single coil pickups, but the configuration of the magnets and the windings was a lot different in the P90s. So they have a darker sound. So they're not exactly like, they don't have that transparent sound that the Fender single coils have. So they're a little darker sounding, a little closer to a dual coil pickup. So this guitar has humbucking dual coil pickups, and we're going to play this with the pickup selector in the bridge position for more of a, you know, a treble-y top end type of sound. Okay, so let's have a look at the effects that we're going to use for this video. First one is the Boss compression sustainer. It's a CS2. Compression is kind of my always on effect. It smooths out the dynamics of my playing. Level is set to the 12 o'clock position. Sustain is also set to the 12 o'clock position, and attack time is set to about 3 o'clock, so we got a bit of a longer attack time so we can hear the initial attack pretty well without squishing it too much. Next one is the Boss BD2 Blues driver, level set at 12 o'clock. Gain is set low at like maybe the 8 o'clock position. Tone is at 12 o'clock. So this blues driver is a sort of a transparent overdrive pedal, meaning that you really hear the character of the guitar quite a bit, and it just adds a little bit of overdrive to it. So the other thing with these overdrive pedals is that they also act as high pass filters. So they're filtering out a lot of the bottom end that you don't really need for electric guitar. I mean, an electric guitar is a very sort of mid-range type instrument. So the gain's set low. It's just adding a little bit of grit, and it's filtering out some of the bottom end, maybe boosting the mid-range a bit. The only other thing I have going on here is a NS2 noise suppressor, but that doesn't affect the tone. That's just basically a noise gate. Okay, so the amp we're going to use is a limited edition Fender Blues Junior, 15 watts. We got our SM57 dynamic mic there. It's close mic'd. This is a limited edition one, so it doesn't have the black Tolex. And it also has a Jensen P12Q speaker instead of the stock Eminence speaker. So for volume, which is like preamp volume, we have that set to 7. So the preamp tubes are just on the verge of breakup. The fat switch is in the up position, which is off. Treble we got rolled off to 3. Bass is also rolled off to 3. And the mids are set to 5. You know, basically when you're playing an electric guitar, you want to emphasize the mids and roll off the bass so you don't get a muddy tone, and not too much top end if you're using overdrive. Okay, the master is set at 3, which is a fairly low volume level, and the reverb is set to 1, which is essentially off. So those are the settings we're using for our Blues Junior amp. Okay, so now comes the hard part where we actually have to play the song. So I'm going to divide it into a few sections, maybe like the intro, and then there's 2 chorus riffs that come up, and I'll do those separately. So we'll start out with the sort of the intro verse part. So that's the intro verse. Now we move on to where they get into the chorus, and there's really 2 riffs happening there. First one goes like this. And the second one is played a lot higher up, and it goes something like this. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Great Guitar Tone where we looked at the song Get Back by the Beatles. Please hit the subscribe button, leave your comments down below, let me know if you think we matched the tone, and we'll see you next time.